Howdy guys, I'm back. I have another video for you. In a bit of a weird location too, don't mind me. I'm sitting on my bed because this is my bedroom currently has the best lighting in my house. So yeah, there's that. Because once again, I'm filming at I think it's like 11:30 at night. It's like midnight right now, so it's the best lighting. Everywhere in my house is like, I ain't gonna lie, it's really messy, so I couldn't film in there. So I'm in the bedroom with the crappy pillows, and etc. I feel like I'm like real like close up. Like this is the style of video that I did like with one of the first videos I did on my channel was just me sitting down holding the phone. um, so I'm getting some flashbacks right now. But yeah, anyways, I split my tongue, you guys. Um, that happened. It happened. It happened a week and a half ago. It happened as this video is posted. It happened on Thursday, last Thursday. So it's been like a week and a half. Um, and I thought I'd just kind of tell you guys about it. It was an experience, definitely. It was a little bit odd. Sorry if I'm wiggling the camera around a lot. I'm trying not to. But once again, I'm holding the phone instead of having it mounted. And I do not have the best arm strength. Sorry, I still have a little bit of a lisp because I haven't gotten used to talking with it yet. It's not permanent though. It's not permanent. It will go away. It's already 100 times better than it was before. But yeah, I got my tongue split last Thursday. And before I get started though, telling you guys kind of, how it went, I just want to kind of put out like a little bit of a disclaimer because when I had posted it, I know I hadn't really talked about getting a tongue split, on my channel at least, and so when I did post that I got a tongue split, at least on my Instagram, a lot of people had maybe shown a little bit of concern, you know, some people not. Some people just commented things, which I won't go into, but, I just kind of wanted to address that and kind of bring up a point that I hadn't really talked about on my channel very much. Um, and of course, it's kind of gonna revolve a little bit around my detransition, but not that much. But basically, I think I first even heard about a tongue split when I was like 14 or 15, maybe. It was a long time ago, and I was pretty young when I first discovered it, and I immediately loved it. I was like, oh my god, I love that. That looks awesome. I want to get one, like, at ASAP, as soon as I can. But of course, when I turned 18, I was still living in Wenatchee, which was like it's pretty small, and nobody in Wenatchee does like body modifications. And I really didn't have the option to travel to go get it done. So I couldn't get it done at the time when I still lived in Wenatchee. So that was kind of out. And then very shortly after I turned 18, I think 18 and a half, I moved to where I am now and transitioned. And the reason I bring this up is because, like, when I had transitioned, I was kind of almost trying to become someone else. And so I kind of tried to find different likes, different things that interested me because I was like, well, I want to do things differently than the way I did them when I was a girl. I want to like things different. I want to, like different things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I never wanted a tongue split as a guy. I never wanted piercings as a guy. I wanted to be different than who I was before, if that makes any sense. So the whole time that I was a trans man, I had kind of put on this, this mask or this persona of a completely different person than, who I obviously am now. But that went on for like a solid year and a half. And now that I'm detransitioned, I basically realized that when I had transitioned, I had kind of pushed off and put off all the things that I wanted to do, kind of right in that middle ground between 19, 20, and going into 21. Was kind of really, it was the time period But if I was going to be going and doing all the things that I wanted to do, I didn't do them because I was trans. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that now that I've detransitioned and I'm trying to get back to who I am and who I want to be, I'm kind of getting back in touch almost with who I was before I even transitioned. And so I find myself constantly trying to play catch up. Um, and because all the things that I wanted, a tongue split, all the tattoos that I wanted, all of the piercings I wanted, I never did because I was trans and I thought that I couldn't like those things because I liked those when I was a girl, and that's not the same thing, you know. Um, so, in case everybody was, you know, wondering, oh my god, it's impulsive, you need to slow down. No, no. That's what I'm trying to say, is that all this stuff that I've been doing, I've wanted for so long, but I put off, um, since I was trans, and now like I said, I'm almost playing catch up to kind of hurry up and get back to who I was supposed to be at this point, but I never did. So don't worry, I'm not rushing into anything. My hand is cramping up because I'm holding the phone. Um, it may seem like I'm being really impulsive with these things, but trust me, these are things that I've wanted for a long time now and for years, and now that I'm finally getting them done, I'm almost feeling like I'm getting closer with myself because I'm getting farther and farther away from the mask that I had on when I was trans, and I'm getting closer to who I feel like I always wanted myself to be, if it makes any sense. So that's why it may seem like I'm rushing into these things. I swear I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not crazy. I like these things. I've always wanted them for a long, long time. You have no reason to concern. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's just my little PSA, I guess. And I'm wiggling the phone so much. Sorry, my hands are really wobbly. But yes, just to address those comments that are inevitably going to come in and say, oh my god, this is impulsive, all that shit. But I've been rambling for a good solid 5 minutes now. Onto the tongue split. So yeah, last Thursday, because I had, a while ago, I had finally decided to kind of start looking into where I could actually get a tongue split done, because it was almost like that was next on my list, right? Because I don't really want any more piercings. I'm working on my tattoos, which, oh my god, my recent back tattoo, or the recent session on my back tattoo was something else. Oh my god, I've never gotten a tattoo that made me want to cry before. But that's a different story. So yeah, I never really wanted anything else. The tongue split was really next on my list. And so for a couple of months I was looking around and I finally found somebody who would do it for me. And they were about an hour away from where I was. And so I was like, okay, I can do that. I didn't have anybody to drive me home, or after I got it done. So it was just me because my family doesn't live around here. And all my friends were, they work and just everybody was busy, and that's fine. So I got a hotel like 5 minutes away from it was a tattoo shop, 5 minutes away from the shop that I was getting it done at. And so I said, okay, I'm just going to drive over there. I'm going to get it done. And then while the numbing stuff is still, in my mouth and I can't really feel it, I'm going to drive to the hotel room. I'm just going to stay the night and I'm going to drive home the next day. Don't worry about it. So that's what I did. So I guess if you're looking at getting one done and you don't have anybody to drive you, I would suggest to get a hotel room maybe if you can, and then drive back. But honestly, I will say, I mean, maybe everybody's just different, but even driving back home the next day, I felt like I probably could have driven home the first day. I didn't feel like I needed somebody to drive me home, like I wasn't going out of my mind through the pain, I couldn't focus. Like, if you cannot get a hotel room, at least for me personally, it wasn't that bad. I could have driven myself home the same day. But, I mean, obviously, it's nice to not have to. So, I mean, if you can get a hotel room, I would suggest it just because it's nice. But, yeah, basically, getting it done. I will go into detail. So, if you don't want to hear all of the graphic, gory bits of the actual procedure, I would skip forward a bit because I will go in detail. I don't have pictures, though, because, I mean, I would have had pictures, but my phone was too far away from me and I couldn't. And I was a dum dum. And after I had sat down, he was doing it. I couldn't, get up and grab my phone. But um, yeah. So I basically walked in. I sat down, and maybe it depends on where you go. But I say the majority of all of the places you would go that are reputable, that have done them before, will numb you up. And I'm not gonna say who did mine because I don't think he wants me to. But yeah, I got numbed, and but in case everybody's like freaking out about, oh my god, I'm getting my tongue split. Is it gonna hurt? If they numb you, no, uh, absolutely not. The thing that hurt the most during the procedure, which might deter some people, might not, was the shots. Because I got lidocaine and bupivacaine, and those were kind of the two numbing agents that they gave me. Lidocaine is really fast acting, and it lasts maybe, I honestly don't know, maybe an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer. And the bupivacaine, because the lidocaine was the one that I got first, and the bupivacaine is a slower acting one. It takes a little bit longer to wind up and to really numb you, but it lasts like 3 times longer than lidocaine, or it's supposed to. Anyways, I'll get into that later. But so that's what I got. So the thing in the actual procedure, the only thing that hurt was getting the shots. But I swear I got like over 10 shots in my mouth, which I really do appreciate from the guy because he made sure I couldn't feel a damn thing, which I really do appreciate. But still, getting that many shots in my mouth, Jesus Christ, I mean, underneath your tongue, like getting them underneath, wasn't really that bad. It's like getting them in your gums, almost, except not that bad. But getting them actually, like, here, I'll show you. Like actually on like the meat of your tongue, whew, that tickles a little bit. That does. But yeah, and I guess that's your first little sneak peek at my tongue. But so the getting them actually on like in the very very like the very tip of the tongue is where he also got it numbed me up too, because it was just him. He didn't have an assistant, so he used kind of like a clamps on both sides, so when he's cutting it he can kind of spread it apart, to make it easier for him. And if you don't have numbing meds, the clamps hurt like a bitch. So yeah, basically I couldn't feel a damn thing. And I will tell you, if they numb you up, you cannot feel a damn thing. And during the procedure, there's not really much for me to talk about because the whole time I was basically, okay, I'm just gonna close my eyes and let him do his thing, and until he tells me that it's over, and then I'm gonna go home. That's basically what I wanted to do. So, and that's what I did, because I closed my eyes, and I guess this is how well it was numbed, because while my eyes were closed, I couldn't even tell what he was doing. I didn't know if he was cutting my tongue, if he was grabbing something. I didn't know. So you really, depending on who you go to, if they say they're gonna numb you completely, you cannot feel anything. So don't worry about that part. I mean, if you just go to a janky shop or in somebody's basement, don't count on it. But go to somebody reputable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Make sure that they have done it before and that they know what they're doing. But yeah, so the whole time I couldn't really feel anything except the weirdest part, and I know other people who have gotten their tongue split have mentioned this before, is that when you're getting, like, when you're leaning back and you're getting your tongue split, as he's like sawing down the middle of your tongue, with the scalpel and cutting the middle, as it's splitting apart, you can, as it starts to get to the sides of your mouth, you can't feel your tongue, but you can feel the sides that are split now, like on the sides of your mouth. And that was something that, it was like one of those moments, like when I was sitting in a chair and I was like, I can't feel anything. And so I started to feel like him, like, moving, and my tongue was like on the both sides of my mouth. And I was like, oh, I don't usually feel that. And I'm like, oh, it's split now. And that's when you feel that, that's when you know that it's completely split. Once you can feel it on the sides of your mouth, there's no going back. Although there really wasn't any going back beforehand. But it's officially completely split. When you can officially feel it, that's when you know it's done. And so that kind of that tripped me up when I first got it. I was like, holy shit, like, this happened. It's kind of one of those things where, it kind of is like it hit me where it's like, oh, this is happening. This is happening. Because, I don't know, maybe it just hadn't occurred to me. I just kind of, because I was really nervous when I walked in. I was pretty nervous to start everything. So I was just trying not to think about it. But I guess when that hit me, I really had to think about it. I was like, oh, wow. wow. Kind of one of those things. But yeah, so that was a really weird feeling. And then afterwards, he put the stitches in. Because I know, let me answer this too. The way that my guy did it, he used a scalpel, basically. He just cut it in half. I know I've seen some people do it with a cautery iron, which is basically like really hot, like they burn it, so there's less bleeding. But it's not quite as, you'll get as many straight lines that way. So my guy didn't do it that way. But yeah, if anybody was wondering how the fuck he was doing it, yeah, he just used a scalpel and started cutting the middle. So yeah, fast forward, I get my stitches. He's like, here, rinse your mouth out. I was starting to feel it. As soon as he was done, it was starting, like, it was weird. When he was giving me the stitches, I couldn't feel that. But it was starting to get sore, if that makes any sense. Like, it was starting to really kind of ache. But it was still kind of numb, because I couldn't feel the stitches. So, I don't know necessarily about that bupivacaine lasting 4 to 6 hours nonsense, because as soon as I got home, like, the whole thing only took me, like, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. Maybe it was not that long. It was fast. And, the bupivacaine is supposed to last 4 or 6 hours. As soon as I got home, I could feel it. So I was like, man, this nonsense. But whatever. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, I went home as soon as he got done doing his stitches. I went home and, oh my god, I loaded up on Tylenol and like the liquid pain meds. I will tell you, it doesn't help. I wouldn't even bother if I were you. It doesn't help. I would just sleep it off if I were you. And that's what I tried to do. And I guess here I'm going to get into the recovery part of the whole thing. Because the first day after I got it done, the first and the second day were the absolute worst. I will say that. I couldn't sleep, for one. And whenever I did get to sleep, I couldn't stay asleep. And so for a solid 3 or 4 days after I got it done, I maybe slept 2 or 3 times a night, and I only actually was sleeping for about 2 to 3 hours. So I'd sleep like 2 to 3 hours maybe, and then I'd wake up because it hurt so bad. I'd drink some water, and then another 5 hours would go by of me just laying in bed in pain and misery, and then I'd maybe fall asleep for another 2 hours, and then I'd wake up again. It's kind of like one of those things, and that lasted for like 3-4 days. It was not fun. Um, but yeah, that was day one, and then the next day, of course, I went home. But yeah, day one and day two are pretty much the same. Day three is when it started to ease up a bit, where I woke up and I wasn't in immediate pain, and it started to hurt less and less. Day four, I almost couldn't really feel it at all. It was more like a burn in my tongue. Um, and then day five and day six, it was still swollen a bit, but it didn't hurt at all. And then day seven, I got my stitches taken out. Then day 8 and day 9, which is what I'm on now. I think I'm on day 9 now, like a week and a half. My stitches are out. Like, it's not even swollen anymore. It's almost like I know I'm technically still healing, but I can't feel it anymore. I mean, I say I'm like 95% healed at least, if not 100, because your mouth heals so fast. And yeah, and then it's just on from there. But also, so that's kind of my healing timeline. I really didn't have anything to say. Also, I mean, I guess I puked on day 2.5. It was completely random too. I don't know if anybody else gets this, but I wasn't feeling that good. I was sitting in bed. I was fine. I think I thought about something sort of nasty on accident, I guess, and it immediately made me nauseous. And like 5 seconds later or so, 5 to 10 seconds, I was immediately in the bathroom puking, just because I had thought about something nauseous. And I only threw up once. That was the only time I threw up. But it was just still really weird because it had never happened to me before. I had never thought about something that made me nauseous before. So that was the first. So watch out for that. And I guess a reason why I have my really shitty pillows out here is because when you get it, I'd say for a solid, at least for the first 4 days or so, day 5 and on, it's not that bad. But while your tongue is still really swollen, you will have buckets of drool. You will drool copious amounts, constantly drooling. It's so much. I mean, if you don't drink enough water, you will get dehydrated because you drool so much. So if you have spare pillows, or leave a towel down or something, although even that is really uncomfortable because you'll wake up and just in a pile of wet, nasty drool, and it's nasty, and there's a little bit of blood. I felt so bad. I left towels down the first night in my hotel room on my pillow, but somehow I guess I must have rolled to the other side or some shit, and I woke up and there was this nasty, bloody pile on the pillow. I cleaned it up as best I could, but I still felt a little bit bad for, ruining the pillows. I don't know. They can charge me, whatever. But yeah, don't ruin your nice pillows and shit. It will be, and I don't think you quite are grasping the amount of drool. I didn't grasp. I didn't understand the amount that would come out. When I first watched videos, they said, yeah, you're gonna drool a lot. Bro, it's mouthfuls. So much. And you either gotta swallow it or you gotta spit that shit out. I suggest spitting it out, but when it's literally refilling every 10 seconds, it's really hard to constantly have a bucket with you. And it's kind of hard to spit it out, too, because your tongue is so swollen, so you kind of just have to, like that, and just let it fall out. It's really nasty, but just be prepared for that. It will be mind-blowing amounts of mouth liquid. So there's that. Yeah, day 4, day 5. I guess zoomed into when I took my stitches out. I did those myself, and it wasn't that hard. A couple of people who I had watched their videos, and they said they had a really hard time taking the stitches out, and that it hurt a little bit. I didn't really feel anything when I took my stitches out. Maybe it's because when I did take them out, I couldn't really feel it. It didn't hurt at all. Um, so yeah, taking the stitches out was pretty fine for me. The only thing I had issues with is that some of them were like wrapped pretty tight, and I had these little tiny scissors with me, and so I'd have to kind of almost pull at like the end tie strings, if that makes sense, so to make it kind of come out of my tongue a little bit, so I could snip one end and then pull it out. That wasn't fun. That hurt a lot. It felt like I was biting like I was biting my tongue almost really hard. Um, so yeah, that one wasn't fun. There was only a couple of them though. I'd say overall, as long as your tongue doesn't hurt, if you take out the stitches yourself, it's not that hard. It's not that bad. But yeah, taking out the stitches, I say it's pretty much about it. The only thing now that I'm still dealing with is speaking. And I think throughout this entire video, you've noticed it's not because my tongue is swollen. Oh god, my hands cramped up. But it's just weird. I do have a little bit of a lisp. It has gotten like 100 times better than where it was before. It's only certain sounds too. It's D's, it's the T's, and the S's, which I have some trouble with. But it was better than yesterday, and it was 2 times better than the day before that. So I'm guessing by the end of the week, I'll be back talking like 100% normally. But yeah, it's just because it's almost like instead of having one tongue now, I have 2. And so I kind of have to like almost like position it like differently in my mouth to make the same sort of noise. And especially with the S's, I have to be careful to say it a certain way, because now that there's a split in my tongue, it's almost like, let's say, like that, like S. It's like the air kind of goes through the split, and it makes it sound really airy. It sounds like I got a lisp. But that'll all go away with practice. It's not permanent, I promise. That's just, like I said, I just got it split a week and a half ago, so I'm bound to have some speaking issues while I get used to it. But that's something I would look out for. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I like it though. So, yeah, that's kind of the thing. I got my tongue split. That's my recovery ramble. I didn't exactly put this together very well. Although everybody who's already familiar with my channel should know that I don't exactly come to videos prepared. I just sit down and just start talking, and this is exactly what that was. So I guess I could show you guys what it looks like now. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. It's still pretty, I can't really move it that much. I can, like, move it up and down, but I was told not to practice any of the tricks until it's, like, fully healed, so I haven't been messing with it too much. But anyway, this is what it looks like. Don't look if you're, queasy, I guess, or if you don't like this stuff. It doesn't look bad, but that's what it is. My favorite thing to do so far is licking my lips with it, like, split, like like that. I don't know why. It just drives me I don't know. I don't know. I just like it. It's like the one like normal thing that I can do. That's absolutely not here normal anymore. Um, Let me see. There's not really many other tricks I can do with it so far. Um, I can't. I'm trying to move them independently of each other, but that's really, really hard. I can't. A lot of people can do like this clapping thing with them. I can't really. I can't really do that. Like I tried, but like a sort of. It's not. I can't like. I can't. I can't curve it all the way. If that makes sense. I can't quite do it. I'm working on it though. I'm working on it. But so far, I'll just be satisfied with my, you know, sticking them out a little bit. I can't, like, once I was healed and I was able to move it without, hurting, I was moving it so much. I was in and out. I was constantly looking at myself in the mirror. I couldn't help it. I was like, oh my god, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Um, but yeah, that's my tongue split. That's the story. That's what it looks like. Um, Yeah, basically. And I guess for all of my regular subscribers who have been with me for a while, if you're wondering, no, I'm not planning on getting any other body modifications. This is the only one that I really wanted. So no, I'm not gonna turn into the female version of the lizard man and just get one after another. No, this is it. This is my face for probably a very, very long time. So if you were concerned that there's going to be 15 million other body mods down the road, there's not. You know, if you were, I mean, it's still my body, my decision. But I thought I'd put some of your thoughts to rest. But yeah, hopefully by my next video that I post up, hopefully it'll be posted a little bit sooner. I want to finish the Outlast video that I posted, but unfortunately, shortly after I posted that one, I got my tongue split, and then I was like in recovery, up until now. So yeah, yeah, that was it. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below. Um, yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Again, sorry I've been gone for so long. This is like a half an hour video, but it was also a rant. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Um, I guess I should probably say links for my socials are in the description. Got my Discord too, so if you want to chat with me like in real time, that's the best place to do it, is in the Discord. The Discord. Oh my god, I can't say it. I'll add that to the list of words that I can't say right now. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. So see ya.